Polymorphism is one of the three fundamental principles of object-oriented programming after encapsulation and inheritance, which we have seen so far. Polymorphism is a Greek word that means many forms, and it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. For example, an object of the programmer class is first of all a programmer, but it is also an employee and it is a person as well. So basically it has different forms. So in this piece of code here we have a base class, an employee class with just a simple introduce method that just prints this line out in the console, and then we have three other classes that inherit the employee class. We have the programmer class, the doctor class, and the lawyer class. As we saw in the previous video when we talked about inheritance, when a class inherits from another class, it inherits all of its members. So in this case, for example, when we create a programmer object, it would inherit this introduce method by default. Let me just demonstrate it real quick. So I have a programmer object here, and if I would call from this programmer object the introduce method, let me just run the program, we would see this line, I'm an employee, printed out to the console. But polymorphism allows us to override the class members of the base class in the derived class. So if we would want to, we have the option to change a method or another class member to be different in each specific class. Let's say, for example, we would want in each of these classes the introduce method to print out to the console something more specific. And to do so, we need to just write the virtual keyword in the method in the base class so that we can overwrite it down below in the derived classes. Then here in the programmer class, let's say, if I'm just gonna want to override the same method, I'm just gonna need to write public, and then the override keyword, the return type, and the name of the method should remain the same. And I just need to print out to the console the different message. So let's say I want to print out I am a programmer, and I can actually do this for all of the other derived classes as well. I can just change it here. I'm a doctor, the message that we want to be shown up, and in the last class, let's say I am a lawyer. So if I would actually just create an object for each of our classes here, for the doctor class, naming it doctor equals to new doctor, and then for the lawyer class, I'm creating another object equals to new lawyer. I can actually call the introduce method now for each of the objects that I created, for the doctor object and for the lawyer object as well. If I run the program, we should now see the different message printed out to the console for each of the objects. Just remember that overriding works with methods and properties by just writing the virtual keyword in the base class, but it does not work with fields. So this was an overview of polymorphism in C#. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you soon.